Hello everybody and welcome back. So I'm gonna show you how I made this hair, and if let's see. So the thing is, I made this one, right? And it's just a mesh rigged with bones, and that's what we're gonna make in Houdini. I have Houdini set up here, and the first thing we're gonna make a geometry node. And the first thing I'm gonna do is a line, and I'm just gonna show you how to just set up the hair really basic. So if we do this round tube here, so maybe I did it too quickly, I'm going to do it one more time. Sweep, that's the node we're going to use, and you have this warning. The reason is because it's looking for an input here, and we can change that from surface shape. We do just a round tube, so now it works. So we have this one here, and I'm just going to do end caps to grid. So we have the top and bottom. And here I'm going to go do a resample. And now here I can choose the resolution. And then I'm going to have an extra one down here. So this one going to be represent the bones. So here we can decide how many bones we want. And I'm going to go with 4 bones or 3 bones actually. And here we have the mesh, and I'm going to have more resolution on the mesh. So I'm going to do a little bit more segments. Also radius a little bit bigger like this. This seems to be a little bit more like Simpsons hair. Yeah, let's do Simpsons Marge hair instead. And what should we do here? Well, I'm actually gonna do, so I just freestyling and going off my initial plan. But if we do a scatter here, now we do a lot of points on this surface, right? So that's cool. And if we do a copy to points, now we are copying all these points, all these spheres to this shape here. And as you see, they are really big, so we're going to take them down to 0.1. And now you see we're starting to get more like March hair. And we can do a little bit less blobs. And let's see, maybe this is good. I'm also going to do this Wrangler here. So we're going to do this Wrangler, gonna set the P scale. So if we do P scale to 1, and we have, so we set this one uniform scale to 1. Now this one do set the point P scale. And by having it like this, now P scale is set to 1 here, which means when it's going to be the full size of this one. And now we get the big ones. So what we can do, if we do like this, if we do a float min size, and we do a maximum max size like this, and also we have a float seed. Now we do a float random. So what we do here, we do this as a round val, and this is going to be in a random function. And here we put the seed into it, right? And also we do at ptnum, and I'm going to multiply the at ptnum with 1 dot something, because now this one is actually an integer, but when we multiply it, it becomes a float. And we have the seed here, and if I press this one here, now we have the seed, so we can have different values. So now we have a float random value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this random value that is made by this random function with a point number, and we have this seed, so we can always randomize it more. And this random always give between 0 and 1. So if we do like this, here we do float final scale, and then we use this fit function. So what we do need here is have the random value. The random value is between 0 and 1. So it's between 0 and 1. And now we want to range it. So it's a remap function. So now we have a random value between 0 and 1, and we're going to remap it from 0 and 1 to the min and max. So down here we just do final scale. So here we have the minimum size 0 and the max 1. If you look here now, it works. So we actually do need to just lower this one. Now we see we can actually change the size. And then we have the seed here. So I just want to do this kind of stuff because then it's, and then maybe a little bit more points. Because I find a little bit more nicer shapes. So then when we have this one here, I'm going to take these two here. So what I did now, I took this shape here and I took this one here, and now I merge it together to make sure it's solid kind of, because now we're going to put it through and convert VDB. Actually, VDB from wrong again. VDB from polygons. VDB from polygons. Now we make a voxelize thing, and I'm gonna do the size to 0.1. So now we have it better. So this is not a mesh anymore. This is just a point cloud kind of. And now we're gonna do a convert VDB and convert it back to mesh, to polygons. So now we have polygons again. And I do, let's see. Yeah, I think this is good enough. We can always tweak it. Maybe do bigger ones. Yeah, this is good enough. So, and then we can just do adaptive, remove a little bit of the resolution. And then I'm actually going to do a measure. Labs measure curvature. This is super nice because now we can measure the curvature on this one to have some kind of ambient occlusion to it. And I'm going to call the convexity. That's what I'm working with here. And if I just remove this one here, we only have the red one here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make a wrangler, because what this node do, it makes attributes. So you have concave, and I changed the convex to red here. So now it's saved on each point. They saved concavity and red, and I want the red to be okay. I'm going to do like this. Usually you just do @cd is equal to something else. So now we converted this float to the red, to the color attribute. And that's what you need to get the vertex color in your mesh in the game engine. So what's important here is to make sure that this color attribute is a vector free, because sometimes it turns out to be a float like this, and that's not good. So make sure it is a vector-free color, otherwise you can have problems with that. So we do color from red, that's good enough. And then I'm just gonna make smooth, and this is gonna be color. So now you see we have it a little bit more smoother. This is gonna be a lot of good effect in the shader later on. So now when we have this mesh in order, to have this one working, when we do the rigging, we need to make sure that we have, well, actually, it's not for the rigging, it's when you export it. We do need name. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do a Wrangler again. And I'm just going to do on all the primitives, run over primitives here. So I'm just going to do that. Name is equal to March here. So now we have this set name. So this is really important for exporting. If you don't have it, it will fail. So now it has some March here name. That's awesome. So we're going to do it like this. This one is going to be the mesh. So we have the mesh out here. Mesh out. So this is done. Here we have the mesh. Perfect. Actually, we can do one more here. So if we do on primitives again, we're going to do set material. And the way you do this is here, shop material path, and we're going to have here material. So if you have more than one material on this piece, you just divide it on here with groups and such. So now we have the material, and now we're going to do the rigging. So here we can decide how many bones we want. And I think this is going to be good enough. And what's also important is that we put names on these ones. So each point here, 0, 1, 2, 3, they need a name. So I'm just going to do string index is equal to, and if we use sprintf and we do %, and we do 0d like this. Now we kind of convert whatever we put into 2 digits. And if we do @ptnum like this, now the name going to be, as you see here, name 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it didn't work as I wanted. I must have done something wrong. Sprintf. Okay, I need 2. I wanted 2 digits. Now you see 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. So 0, 0 and all that stuff works great. And the last thing we just need is to add bone underscore. So now we have bone underscore 0, 0. So this is good. Now we have the names on the bone. Here we want to do orient joints, because we need orientation to the bones. So this will set up it for us. So if we do here, we do transform. Now you see it set up the transform for us. And here they are. Perfect. So this is kind of all we need for the bones. And we're going to do this for skeleton out. So here is the skeleton. So here we have the mesh and we have the skeleton. Perfect. And I'm going to remove this transform here. So in order to make this skin, we need to have, you can do different ways. I'm going to do this bone capture by harmonic. So this one want mesh. So this, and this one want the capture geometry. So what you do need here is to add a bone capture lines. So here we have the bone. When we add this one, you see we have much more bones here going on, or resolution on it. Because what we're going to do here, we're going to have a set embed. So what this one wants is the mesh. and then it wants the bone capture in here. So what happens here is that this is not the, if we do, this is a mesh. If you look here, this is not the same mesh. This is the geometry mesh, but this is the capture mesh. So this bone capture by harmonic wants this capture mesh. And what we do now, this one is converting the weights from the bones using this mesh. And here we are converting over the mesh, the weights. So if we just now do, this should be done and working. So if we do bone deform, so this one here, this is the geometry. And now here we added the bone weights. So we put it in here. And then we just do this skeleton. And then we do this skeleton. There is a node called rig pose. So here, if you don't see this one, you just press enter in this view and there you will see them. And if you control this one with this one here and do rotate, come on, here. If we rotate them like this, then we just place it in the third one, because this one is the geometry, this one is the resting rig pose, and this is the rig modified. And now you see we have the hair. So this is our hair. Super cool. So, but this part was only for Houdini to kind of make sure it works. So we do debugging in Houdini. And now we just do here, we're going to do a ROP FBX animation out. That's not the one. We're going to have ROP FBX character out. And with this one, we need the bones. And we can actually do this like this. If we do this one here. So this one, instead of having lines all over, I don't like that. You can just use this one here. So if you look at this one here, and now because this object merge has object one here as a reference, it's practically like having a line. So you can have this one here instead. And this one here. So that's cleaner. So this is the debug part. And then this one is referring this one, right? So here we have this one here. And now we want to save it out to March here. And if we do save to disk, we get an error. Missing FBX material, name privative attribute, material export skipped. So we need a default, we need a, oh yeah, it actually asked for name primitive, but we set it here, so that should be fine. It's probably is because here we need also an info, configure clip info. And I just do like this. And we do the clip name to be default. And if we save again, miss FBX name primitive attribute material export skipped. All right, I'm just gonna see if it worked out. Okay, it gave us an error, but it gave us something. Let's see what we have. This is the March hair. But it works anyway. So here we have it. So if we do, let's try out these bones. If we do rotate them, yeah, here we have it. It works. Isn't it cool? And of course, Houdini is awesome. So if we just wanted this line, the hair was too short. So if we look at this mesh, oh no, we want it shorter or longer. We just do 1.25. Cool. Oh no, we want more bones. We only had 3 segments. We want additional bone. And we can also set up here how we did the bone index and stuff. Everything is going through everything. Everything is automated. We just press save again. And it's doing its works here. And by the way, if you have trouble with your mesh, this tet embed, you might just need to play with these parameters to catch it better, because sometimes it doesn't really catch it so good. But we save this stuff, and now here you see we have it, and we added a bone. So this is so cool. This is awesome. So let's just do the last part, and I showed you in the last how to do it. I'm actually have this script that just doing everything set up for me. So here we have it, and I'm just going to remove this one. So what happened now was this rig automated stuff for me that I just did. And what I added was I added animator, added rig builder, and this rig child has a rig on it. And that rig needs to be put in this rig builder list here. And this rig needs to have a child for its bone damped transform. So what I did here, bone 0 is the parent to bone 1. And bone 1 is the parent to bone 2. So you see here everything is set up. So instead of doing this manually, doing this here and doing this like this, the script did it. So now if we play, we have this working. Cool. So let's just put it on the player and see how it works. So we had here and put the march head here. We move it up. I'm actually going to do a little bit smaller. Yeah, a little bit bigger. Cool. Like this maybe. We can just do a really quick... Actually, I have a hair material here. So this hair material gonna be blue. Then we can have super blue in the edges. And here we have it. We have March in our game. Hello, March. So this is how you can use the damped. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe to my channel or give me a thumbs up if you like this. And thank you so much.